Hello students, welcome to today's English lesson. Today I'm here with a poem from your Honeysuckle book. The title of the poem is What If, written by Shel Silverstein. This poem is written in a child's voice and point of view. This poem tells us about a child who has many fears and doubts which strikes his mind at night time. So before we begin, let's learn something about the poet, Shel Silverstein. He was an American born in Chicago in 1930, and he was famous for his cartoons and children's books. Students, have you ever had fears like what would happen if I fall down the stairs? Or what would happen if the earth stops revolving? Or what would happen if the sun doesn't rise in the morning? And doubts like, what if an angel comes in front of me? So here is a boy with lots and lots of such fears and doubts. Let's look into the poem. Before we read the poem, let's see the meaning of the word what if. What is the meaning of what if? What if means, what would happen if things go wrong? Or what would happen if this or that happens? Many fears strike him at the night time. The child is lying in his bed, worrying about all the things that might go wrong in his life. He is worried and nervous. The poem goes like this. Last night while I lay thinking here, some what ifs crawled inside my ear and pranced and partied all night long and sang their same old what if song. So last night, it's during the night time, the child is lying in his bed to go to sleep. At that time, some what ifs, that is some doubts and fears, slowly creep into his mind. And they do not remain idle there. They start making merry. They strike his mind again and again and again, which troubles the child. These doubts continue striking him, and he is worried and nervous and troubled. These are the worries, these are the doubts and fears that comes to his mind. Let's see. What if I'm dumped in school? What if they have closed the swimming pool? What if I get beat up? What if there is poison in my cup? What if I start to cry? What if I get sick and die? So the child worries. What if I'm dumped at school? What would happen if I'm unable to speak in school? My friends will be there. They'll be sitting and talking, they'll be listening, they'll be speaking to the teacher. But what would happen if I cannot speak anything in the school? What if they have closed all the swimming pools? Where will I go and enjoy my evenings? What would happen then? What if I get beaten? What if I'm defeated? What would happen if I get beaten and defeated? What would happen if there is poison in the cup in which I am drinking my tea or coffee? What would happen? So the child is worried about these, or the child is having these baseless worries in his mind. Again he asks, what if I suddenly start crying? What would happen if I get sick and if I die? So the child is filled with all kinds of negative thoughts in his mind. His worries have not come to an end. It continues. What if I flunk that test? What if green hair grows on my chest? What if nobody likes me? What if a bolt of lightning strikes me? What if I don't grow taller? What if my head starts getting smaller? So the child is asking himself, or these worries strikes his mind again and again. What would happen if I fail a test in my class? Teacher is conducting a test, and if I fail, what would happen? Then, what would happen when green hair starts growing in my chest? Then, what would happen if nobody likes me? If no one likes me, my parents or my friends, my relatives, if no one likes me, what would I do? What would happen to me? What if a bolt of lightning suddenly strike me or hit me? Strike means to hit. So what would happen if I'm walking or I'm playing somewhere, and if suddenly a bolt of lightning hit me, what would happen to me? Then what if I don't grow taller? I'm a small boy now. I have to grow tall and I have to become a big man, young man. But what would happen if I doesn't grow? Sorry, what would happen if I don't grow? Then what if my head starts getting smaller? What would happen my head if my head become smaller? So the child's worries or thoughts and fears are baseless, but they keep on coming to his mind one after another when he is lying in his bed to sleep. Let's continue with the poem. What if the fish won't bite? What if the wind tears up my kite? What if they start a war? What if my parents get divorced? What if the bus is late? What if my teeth don't grow in straight? What if I tear my pants? What if I never learn to dance? So he's asking, what would happen if the fish would not bite? What would happen if my kite is torn by the wind? I'm playing and enjoying. I'm flying the kite and enjoying. But suddenly the wind comes and tears up my kite. What would happen then? Then, what if they start a war? What if a war begins? I won't get anything. I won't be happy. No one will be happy. So what would happen? Such thoughts, such fears, such doubts, such worries and troubles comes to his mind, strikes his mind again and again and again. He's asking, what would happen if my parents get separated or divorced? Divorced means separated. So what would happen if they get divorced? I will not get the love of both of them together. They'll be in separate houses or they'll be separated. So what would happen to me then? What if the bus is late? So daily morning I have to go to school. If my school bus is late, what would happen to me? Or what would I do? Then, what if my teeth don't grow in straight? My teeth, if they are turning this side and that side, and if it is not straight, what would happen? I won't look a cute child. Then, what if my pants are torn? What would happen if my pants are torn? What would I do? What can I do? Then, what if I never learn to dance? My friends, they dance very well. But if I am not able to learn to dance properly, these silly things if I am not able to do in my life, what would happen to me? These are the worries that strike the mind of the child as he is lying in his bed during the night time to enjoy a nice sleep. Last two lines of the poem. Everything seems swell, and then the night time, what if strikes again? So in the morning, everything looks normal. But when night comes, these worries pour into his mind, and he feels that they have become large in size. Worries come one after another into his mind, and he feels that they have become so big in size. That is, at night time, it strikes again and again. So at night time, he's worried. These thoughts and these fears and doubts come into his mind, and it worries him, makes him nervous. So the meaning of the word swell, everything becomes swell, everything seems swell. Swell means to become large in size. After reading the poem, we understand that the child is very timid and fearful. These fears disturb his mind, disturb his peace of mind, and they do not allow him to enjoy the moment, to enjoy his sleep. We see that when the child gets up in the morning, everything looks normal. But these fears strike his mind at night time. These strange questions strike him every night. We understand that the child's mind is filled with lot of negative thoughts. These thoughts trouble him and develop a negative attitude in him. So tell me, so you're all children, right? So tell me, what can the child do in order to get rid of these thoughts and fears? In my opinion, he should engage or involve himself in some interesting creative activities so that these thoughts will not crawl or creep into his mind and trouble him, and all his negative thoughts will move away from him. So, it's time to sum up now. You have learnt the poem, right? So let's see what all fears comes to the child's mind. So the child is lying in his bed at night time and he wants to enjoy his sleep. But his sleep is troubled. He cannot enjoy his sleep because many fears and doubts come to his mind, strike his mind. Like what would happen if he could not speak up in school? What would happen if the swimming pools are closed? What would happen if no one likes him? Different kinds of thoughts and fears come to his mind. He also thinks like what would happen if his kite is torn by the wind? What would happen if his parents are divorced? And what would happen if his pants are torn? What would happen if he is not able to learn the dance, etc., etc., etc. So, it's often said that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. And we realize that it's very true in case of this child. So my dear children, the message of this poem is, don't keep yourself idle. Be active and develop a positive attitude in